Hi, everybody. I am officially recording, and this is going to be a co-impact sourcing story. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen as I don't like to be seen too much. And we are going to pull up that. We are going to start the slideshow. We are going to get to the beginning, and we are going to move me out of the way. Woohoo! So guys, I have a couple handy dandy notes because that's what I like to use. And I would like to welcome everybody to learning more about doTERRA's co-impact sourcing. Oops, there we go. So the story of doTERRA's essential oils begins long before the customer opens a bottle of oil, and even long before the batch arrives at the doTERRA headquarters. doTERRA essential oils begins in places like Nepal, Guatemala, Haiti, Madagascar, and dozens of other locations where skilled growers and distillers, artisan workers, they all work together to nurture seeds and soils and plant parts so that one day they become high quality essential oils. From the beginning to the end, the story of a single bottle of doTERRA essential oils requires the help, expertise, and the care of a global network of professionals who are dedicated to producing a higher quality product that utilizes the gifts right from the earth. Today, we will discuss co-impact sourcing initiatives that doTERRA has established in order to maintain these responsible sourcing practices while still producing a high-quality essential oil. So from the beginning, doTERRA has been dedicated to producing high-quality essential oils that are responsibly sourced. In order to achieve this goal, doTERRA has created a global botanical network that can support the constant demands for doTERRA essential oils because it is a hugely growing company with lots of people getting involved with it every single day, and still use safe, responsible practices. While some companies choose to buy their own plots of land where they can grow the plants necessary for producing essential oils, doTERRA chooses to rely on the expertise of the growers and distillers around the world, many of whom have had decades of experience with specific plants. While the growers and distillers in this global botanical network provide doTERRA with expert knowledge and quality plants, doTERRA strives to provide things like job security, fair payment, and other helpful resources in return. Unfortunately, the essential oil industry has several problems that result in poor treatment of the farmers, growers, and distillers, especially those in underdeveloped countries. So, oh, you can't even see because I'm blocking it. I need these for me. These outlines help keep me in line. So not all essential oils are created equally, and not all essential oil companies use responsible sourcing methods to produce their oils. When essential oil producers cut corners to save time, to make more money during the production process, farmers, growers, and distillers are usually the ones that suffer. Growers and distillers are the ones who do the difficult manual labor required to produce the essential oil, yet they are the ones that are often mistreated and underpaid by the essential oil companies. These growers can also have a difficult time finding guaranteed farmers or guaranteed buyers to purchase their product, plant parts at the fair market price, which causes their business to suffer. Most can't even help provide for their family. When a grower or distillers cannot find buyers, they are forced to turn to middlemen or brokers who offer low prices for the plants and then resell them at the higher price. Many growers and distillers in developing countries struggle to support their families when they cannot get a fair payment for their products. Lastly, some companies use growing or production tactics that can be harmful to the environment. Part of the responsibility of sourcing falls on the essential oil production process. We need to ensure that the environment isn't threatened in this. We need to make sure that we are doing the best to protect this global community that we call home. These issues, among others, are common in the essential oil industry. However, they are problems that doTERRA is actively working to prevent for themselves, as well as requiring it from other essential oil companies around the world. So to avoid the many pitfalls of the essential oil industry, doTERRA established the Co-Impact Sourcing Initiative. Okay, that's how it got started, for the willingness to change the way things are done and provide a better future for everybody involved. doTERRA's Co-Impact Sourcing Initiative is growing distilling communities throughout the world. These initiatives focus on using responsible sourcing practices to produce doTERRA's essential oils, while working to improve the lives of the people in these growing and distilling communities. doTERRA's Co-Impact Sourcing focuses on building relationships with local growers and distillers while improving the quality of life of these areas through projects and cooperatives that are designed to fit the needs of each individual community. No two communities are the same. No two communities get the same things that they need. Simply put, co-impact sourcing is a cooperative effort to produce high quality essential oils while impacting and proving that the lives of those who help doTERRA effectively and responsibly source these oils are taken care of. I'm blabbering on, but what I'm going to do is I am going to play a video by doTERRA to explain this a little bit.
doTERRA essential oils have a profound impact on our health and wellness, but the impact of how and where they're sourced goes beyond a drop of oil. First, we search the globe to identify the best plant material, harvested and expertly distilled for oil potency and quality. Many of our essential oils come from countries facing economic and environmental challenges. This provides a unique opportunity for doTERRA to produce the highest quality essential oils while also doing good in a sustainable way. We call this co-impact sourcing. Through this approach, we are creating jobs and improving incomes in countries where they are much needed. Developing long-term partnerships with artisan small-scale growers and distillers around the world. These partnerships transform the playing field for growers to improve their production and establish stable prices, trustworthy long-term buying. Helping growers organize themselves into cooperatives to achieve common goals and higher quality while ensuring farmlands are preserved and passed on to future generations. These cooperatives also ensure growers receive fair and on-time payments in favorable installments held throughout the year. In these areas, doTERRA's Healing Hands Foundation is funding the construction of schools, health clinics, cooperative buildings, water systems, and more to empower growers, their families, and communities today and tomorrow. Through co-impact sourcing, doTERRA is improving lives and providing hope to people in desperate need of opportunity. Through this approach, we ensure the long-term supply of the best plant materials to consistently deliver the highest quality products. So it's more than just a drop of oil in your hand. It's a catalyst for impacting many lives beyond your own.
All right. doTERRA has instituted 8 guideline principles. Oops, where am I? Okay, there I am. Hello. I don't know if I stay up, but I tend to separate myself out in there. But doTERRA has instituted these 8 guideline principles to ensure the responsible sourcing is always being practiced, and that their partnership with growers and distillers in the doTERRA Botanical Network helps pave the way for a better quality of life. So what they do is they provide, their focus is on 1, providing jobs. doTERRA seeks to generate new jobs and reduce poverty through the essential oil production process in order to help families in developing countries. They support small-scale farmers, growers, and distillers by creating sustainable jobs in rural and undeveloped areas throughout the world. By creating these jobs, doTERRA aims to help people in developing countries become more economically self-sufficient. 2, they provide fair and on-time payments. As mentioned, many of the growers and distillers are forced to turn to middlemen and that doesn't get when they're not guaranteed a buyer, which typically results in unfair payments and delayed payments, or both. doTERRA ensures that partners are paid on time and compensated fairly for their hard work. By partnering with doTERRA, growers and distillers will always have a guaranteed buyer. doTERRA promises to purchase from them every single year without a doubt, and that they will receive payments they needed to support their families and business. Oftentimes, doTERRA will provide prepayments or even loans to help them in their economy when something happens in their economy and their product isn't there for the harvest coming. So that helps provide for them. Some areas, money is just paper. It's just paper to them. So doTERRA pays them in food and commodities, which is usually more valuable. So we provide for the people where they at, what they need, and at the time they need it. Third, they build a supplier capacity. What this is they help farmers, distillers, and producers do their best. doTERRA consistently works to support projects and investments that will improve efficiency and strengthen the productivity. doTERRA helps build the capacity of suppliers by providing storage services, drying. You're going to learn about how they need to dry the product before they distill it. So drying facilities, seedling plants, logistics, transportation from one area to another, offering helpful technology in agricultural advancement and agricultural training. They literally provide they provide education on soils and how to get the most out of their soils. By offering these resources and service that helps growers and distillers do their jobs more effectively and efficiently, doTERRA can not only guarantee the production of the high quality oils, but they also maintain good relationships with the people that are doing all the work. Let's see, 4, they sustain long-term partnerships. Speaking of relationships, doTERRA aims to support small-scale farmers and producers by establishing long-term contracts. So generation after generation after generation, they know that their family is taken care of. This way, growers and distillers can enjoy the security of this long-term growth and economical support. They're not scared to enhance their fields, invest in more fields, because they know that there is going to be a buyer every year. While doTERRA can secure their ability, by doing this, doTERRA also secures their ability to consistently provide these high quality oils. Every doTERRA partnership is based on trust and fair treatment and a mutual respect for one another. Ensuring the fair labor conditions. As we discussed earlier, one of the problems with the essential oil industry is that growers and distillers are often mistreated. This applies to wages as well as working conditions. To ensure that the growers and farmers are not exploited, harassed, or discriminated against, doTERRA makes fair labor conditions a top priority. At a minimum, doTERRA partners with and complies with the national and local laws of health and safety, working conditions, and labor laws. If those minimums go below the integrity, honesty, and ethical beliefs that doTERRA has, doTERRA raises those standards for the co-ops that they're dealing with. Speaking of co-ops, they promote these cooperatives. As part of the Co-Impact Sourcing Initiative, doTERRA supports the rights of farmers, growers, and distillers to come together and form a co-op between one another, working together as a result to better production processes. By cooperating and collaborating, producers in growing and distilling communities can gain access to equipment to share, storage facilities to share, allowing them to work together as a team rather than competing with one another, so that each community can support the plots that are available and everybody benefits from that. So let's see, 7, ensuring environmental stewardship. Because not all essential oil companies use responsible sourcing practices, many pose a threat to the environment. doTERRA promotes the use of renewable energy technology and energy efficiency to help minimize greenhouse gas emissions during the essential oil production process. doTERRA also works to minimize the impact of waste during the production process and encourages farmers, growers, distillers to minimize their environmental impact. To help minimize the carbon footprint, doTERRA believes in employing environmentally responsible tactics every single stage of the essential oil process. And last, facilitating community development. doTERRA knows that the ability to source essential oils in a specific location on a long-term basis will depend heavily on the livelihood and quality of the life of the surrounding communities. It is a whole community that raises a child. It is a whole community that supplies a drop of oil to the entire world. Let's see, improving the lives, standards, and growing of distiller communities is a major goal of the co-impact sourcing initiatives, because doTERRA wants their partners to have the support and resources they need to help their businesses and families flourish. As part of their goal to facilitate community development, doTERRA has helped with construction of schools, training facilities, healthcare clinics, clean water systems, and other projects to fit for the community it's serving. Now that you have the basics on what co-impact sourcing is, we're going to dive into the co-impact story of Kenya right now and tell you a little bit about Kenya. All right, so Kenya is one of Africa's rising stars. It is home of more than 45 million people. Kenya is now in the process of making significant economic progress in these last couple decades than they did before. There's a young and growing population, a dynamic private sector, they have a new constitution, and there's continued hope for a bright future of this beautiful country. Explosive growth in technology, banking, and agriculture has the potential to radically transform Kenya's economy and lift millions of citizens from extreme poverty. And when I mean extreme poverty, many are only making about $1.25 a day. People in Kenya are living off of $1.25 a day. So with these changes, it's expecting to help Kenyan citizens provide a life of prosperity and opportunity. Kenya has a wide variety of landscapes, each suitable for different agricultural productions. And Kenya is on that belt that they have about 12 hours of daylight year-round, allowing them and their farms to have multiple harvests. Because of the vast landscapes in the 12 hours, we are able to get a lot of products from Kenya and hoping to increase in the future. So as said, 80% of the farmers that work around and in Kenya, each farmer, 80% of the Kenyan farmers has literally only 5 acres or less in size that provides the ideal, but this in turn provides the ideal location for the doTERRA's co-impact sourcing initiatives to come in and make the biggest impact. doTERRA has a history of building strong relationships and partnerships with local experts in the essential oil industry. One such partner is the organization called Fair Oils. They have a long and successful history of essential oil production in Africa and Kenya in particular. The Fair Oils team brings a unique combination of varied experience in African agriculture, united with a commitment to growing with and improving local communities. Both companies, now formal partners, bring valued expertise and resources to the production to the production of CPDG oils through the multiple existing co-impact sourcing initiatives. Now, our primary essential oils of focus in Kenya include ginger, geranium, eucalyptus, radia, eucalyptus citrodora, rosemary, oregano, thyme, and just recently, cypress. Due to the growing conditions, enthusiastic labor force, and the sustainable scalability of Kenya, this venture will produce an extreme product list and also pioneer additional essential oils for doTERRA in the future. I'm going to show you a little bit about Kenya, and here we go.
It's very much surprising because the poverty level here before was really, really bad. Whenever I come here, I see everybody is very busy doing something to earn his or her bread. So you're investing in this area has actually changed the lifestyle of the area.
We identified Kenya as one part of the world where amazing plants were grown. And we identified Kenya as a place where we could really make a difference and get amazing oils. I was recently with a grower in Kenya where they were with their first harvest of their crop. And we talked to them and said, you know, how excited are you? And they said, you know, in our small land we have grown for years, we've never had a cash crop, a crop where we're actually paid right as it was harvested.
So this is a Bluetooth scale that's portable and goes out into the field, and it links up with the field officer's mobile. They'll weigh the tea tree or ginger or whatever it is, and it registers immediately on the phone. Then Lydia will hit payment. That transaction is recorded in the farmer's account, and then those funds are transferred to the farmer's mobile within 24 hours. Yeah, we're pushing for instantaneous, and we'll get there pretty soon. Or 24 hours.
What makes it so good for me when I can do a small thing that will change somebody's life. Like tomorrow I have these people, they cannot go begging. They can take their children to school. Because of one day I came and visited and spent 5 minutes to explain something. It makes a whole difference.
This geranium was planted, and now cuttings are taken from this and then made and planted, and then seedlings will grow from that. And the seedlings are then provided to the farmers.
I mean, the financial kind of inputs required to plant something like this all up front would be really challenging. So we've been really lucky to create a revolving credit fund, which allows farmers to buy all of these seedlings on credit. That balance is deducted over the course of a number of different harvests. So they're paying it off over time, which allows farmers to jump into a project like this, which would otherwise be very difficult to do.
Growing it for the last 6 months. This is their first harvest. They planted in February this year.
We're really focused on building systems that put farmers first, providing them all the support structure that they need to succeed as a smallholder farmer of essential oil crops. We've got field officers who spend every day in the field, visiting with farmers, giving them support, offering advice, helping farmers harvest their crops, weighing it on site, paying for it in a quick and timely manner, and then bringing it here to the distillery where it can be processed and distilled into essential oils.
We could work with commercial farmers in developed nations and produce wonderful plants, wonderful oils from these plants, but we wouldn't be doing as much good in the world. And for us, we're always looking at how can we impact the world in a positive way. And so we have chosen primarily to work through small-scale farmers wherever we go around the world. we grow that 5 times or 10 times, does that fulfill your dream?
You'll have fulfill my dream and the dream for everyone else. I can see the small children going to school and acquire knowledge. It's God given, you know. God has actually listened to the cry, and these people will be self-dependent. That's what we're doing.
All right, so there's different initiatives going on with doTERRA and the Fair Oils. So this Lunga Lunga project is located along the Indian River near the Tanzanian border of Kenya and includes 300-acre model farm distillation facility and a small-scale farming cooperative producing essential oil crops. So while vastly rich in agricultural resources, the region of Kenya is an ideal area for this co-impact sourcing, as the area is geologically removed from the rest of the country, so that we can impact more people further out in Kenya that don't have the ability to get in the cities like Nairobi and the capital and other producing technology cities. So this reaches the farmers on a smaller scale. So, in underdeveloped areas. The Lunga Lunga project works directly with the local community to grow tropical aromatic plants through a cooperative group of small farmers, with this goal to include 25,000 farmers in this area by this year coming, 2020. So they are looking to allow that in this region, 25,000 farmers that would not have this opportunity to work and provide for their family farming positions. So the farming cooperatives works closely with these small farmers to ensure the quality of the product, improve the yields of the product, and to maximize the incomes that they will be making for this product. So in addition, one additional area in which doTERRA is striving heavily for is to provide the meaningful exchange of land ownership. That is a difficulty that they're suffering right now in Kenya. Property rights and land ownerships are a continued challenge in the Kenyan area, but particularly for farmers, which many of them lack the legal title to the property that they're farming. In addition to providing formal employment on the farm and contract farming work through the co-impact sourcing, doTERRA is working to develop an additional project that would provide the legal land ownership to help address these very challenging issues. They are committed to putting farmers first and building a replicable and scalable model of substantive poverty reduction through providing ownership of the land, so that the income coming in, all of it rather than a part of it, goes towards the people. So one such initiative that this is highly involved in is the production of doTERRA ginger. Now, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about ginger, and the best way to explain ginger is through doTERRA's print-offs that they provide in your back office. So this is from doTERRA as well. Okay, so ginger. So doTERRA ginger essential oil is derived from the rhizomes. They are the little nubs that come off of the roots of the ginger plant. A featured ingredient in many Asian dishes, ginger has a hot, fragrant flavor when used in kitchen spice. In Western tradition, ginger is most often used in sweetbreads, gingerbread, and ginger snaps, as two examples. Internal use of ginger is best known for its digestive aids for helping to ease occasional indigestion and nausea. Ginger essential oil can also be applied topically or inhaled aromatically. So ginger essential oils, if you turn the label, you find out it's a supplement. So it's safe for internal use as well as aromatic and topical use. I said it comes from the root. It is steam distilled. It's got a hot, spicy aroma. You can use it during long car rides. You can diffuse or place a drop of ginger in the palm of your hands and inhale. You can apply over the low abdomen for a soothing massage, and you can use ginger essential oils in your favorite sweet and savory dishes. Its direction for use is its primary benefits are they support the healthy digestion, they help reduce bloating, gas, and occasional indigestion, and they may help reduce occasional nausea. So to use the ginger, you can use 3 to 4 drops in a diffuser of choice. You can, for internal use, you can apply 1 drop in 4 ounces of liquid. I will tell you, it's very, very strong. I like the toothpick method where you take a toothpick, stick it in it, and swirl it in your food. That's so much better than 1 drop. And for topical use, you could apply 1 to 2 drops in the desired areas. I do recommend you diluting this. It is safe to use neat, but I do recommend you guys using it with a carrier oil because it could be set for sensitive skin. So that is ginger. All right. Let's go on to talk about another one. In addition to the production of essential oils, the Fair Oils is a large producer of pure and natural vegetable oils for cosmetic and personal care use. They produce an extensive list of vegetable oil products such as sesame, avocado, macadamia nut, tumanu, pomegranate seed. This is where we get our pomegranate seed oil for the yarrow palm, shea, and so much more. The plant on the bottoms, that's a factory that's used for the production and the distillation and everything, and it's on the Anti-River. But let's see, let me tell you a little bit more about the plants used. The plants are grown and harvested from smaller farmers, not only in Kenya, but Uganda, Madagascar, and Sudan, and they're all brought to this Anti-River factory on the bottom right, where the seeds or nuts are pressed, blended, and then exported to customers all over the world. doTERRA intends to utilize many of the existing carrier oils in the future. So we have a lot coming out of Kenya in the next few years to come. The factory, located on the Anti-River, a town 30 minutes outside the capital of Nairobi, is based inside of one of Kenya's export processing zones, which is specially economic zoned, designed to increase the value-added exports for Kenya. In addition to vegetable oils, this facility also distills some of the essential oil crops that are brought in from surrounding areas, and the quality control and testing centers for all essential oil production in Kenya is done here as well through a partnership of doTERRA and this Fair Oils. Seeds are also one of the things that are processed in here because in this area, they need seeds and nuts and all that need to be crushed first before they're distilled. So all that's done here. So pink peppercorn is one of the seeds that comes through this Anti-River factory and is used. And I'm going to share a video on how pink pepper has changed the life of only 2, but many more people in Kenya.
It's really what we're trying to do here is to support smallholder farming and agriculture all over the country.
Right, and yesterday we looked at our pink pepper sourcing, and I heard about a story about a woman whose life has been completely changed through sourcing pink pepper.
Yeah.
So we've changed our plans. You booked a flight last night with just hours notice.
Yep.
And we want to meet her. We want to understand what compact sourcing means to her and her family.
"2014,
2014, what happened?
a road accident. He
road
was going to work at Naivasha there.
When Veronica got news that she'd lost her husband, she was pregnant with her 5th child.
Meeting Veronica was incredible because we were able to see firsthand the impact that co-impact sourcing has on families in Africa.
It was hard to feed my children. I was very stressed and I struggled very much. Yeah, life was hard.
To provide for her children, she started making ropes from the fibers of plants. She would make about 200 shillings a day, which is the equivalent of $2 US. See, as Veronica would take these ropes to sell to shopkeepers, originally they would buy them because they felt sorry for her, but over time they stopped buying her ropes. So she started taking them to truck drivers to see if they would buy her rope. The truck drivers wouldn't buy her rope, but they would buy something else. And she found herself having to give away her dignity and her respect in the only way she had to provide for her children. Veronica and Lucy were friends. They had a common bond because they had both lost their husbands. And as they were sitting in front of the shops wondering what they were going to do to provide for their families, Kigo came. And he offered them an opportunity to harvest pink pepper.
That's how we met. They were just sitting on the veranda, the shop, and I said hi to them. And I said, I've seen a lot of trees here which have got a lot of pink pepper seed on them.
Yeah.
And I think you ladies, you can be able to do that.
He told me, leave this job. It doesn't have money.
And I told her, maybe try the pink pepper, you might make slightly more than that. He told me some of the children were at home and they hadn't gone to school. Even that day, I gave her some advance. I said I would cover it from the seed that will be made.
So you gave her a little bit of an advance.
Yeah.
You took a risk on her,
Yeah.
and then she delivered some pink pepper.
Yeah, following the action, she had like 20 kilos.
Really?
Wow.
The next day? Yeah?
Since Veronica started harvesting pink pepper, she now makes 1,500 shillings a day on average versus just 200 or 300 shillings a day before.
I like to work. I don't like to stay idle. And when you stay idle, when you gossip, your children will sleep without anything in their stomach. Yeah. So I like to work.
Veronica and Lucy are just 2 examples of the hundreds, if not thousands, of lives that are and will be impacted by the harvest of pink pepper. That's why we do compact sourcing. It will always be about the individual and how we can make their lives better.
That job is good because this time I afford to rent, I afford to eat, I afford to cover my children, my family. That I thanks for Mr. Kigo. And I thanks for you all.
Alrighty, now I want to tell you a little bit about pink pepper. Just looking at the bottle alone, you can turn it. You can find out that it is a supplement. It has supplemental facts. So you know right off the bat then it is safe for internal use. You can use it aromatically, topically, or internally. I'll read to you a little bit about what doTERRA says about it. The pink peppercorn, similar in appearance to the black peppercorn, apart from its color, is closely related to cashews. The mole, or pink pepper tree, was considered a sacred tree by ancient Incans. Indigenous population used all parts of the tree, including the pink peppercorn fruit, as an herbal solution to health needs. Pink pepper essential oil is well known for its ability to help support a healthy metabolism and immune system when taken internally. pink pepper may also help the body maintain healthy cellular function and overall cellular health. Limonene, one of the 2 main chemical constituents of pink pepper essential oil, may have a calming effect to the nervous system. Additionally, limonene may help support healthy blood sugar and cholesterol levels already in normal ranges when taken internally, okay? So here you find that the different uses of pink pepper, you see the fruit, it is actually distilled from the fruit. That is the fruit of the tree. It is dried and then broken and steam distilled. It has a spicy, fruity, slightly woodsy smell. It is much different than, to me, it is much different than the smell of black pepper. You still have that pepper smell, but it definitely has a fruitier smell. When I cook, I like the dried fruit itself. I like crushed pepper, but I incorporate pink pepper and black pepper and green pepper all together when I cook, because I really love pepper. It is a staple in every dish I make. So the uses include a soothing massage by combining 1 or 2 drops of carrier oil. I would suggest a lot more carrier oil if you're going to use it on massage. It provides a warming sensation. It may help calm and soothe the nervous system when taken internally. Feel free to cook with it. It is one of those that you don't need the toothpick method. You can literally provide a drop right into the food. You can diffuse it or hail it directly to promote a feeling of alertness. You can blend it with citrus. It blends well with citrus oils and also blends well with florally oils to create a nice aroma. It helps promote healthy cellular function. So like I said, you can drop it in a diffuser, you can take it in internally, and like I said, the taste is wonderful, so you don't even need a veggie cap, or you can apply it topically. Always use carrier oil, whether it's able to be used neat or not. It's just great for the skin. All right, so let's talk about another oil. So impact assessment of the Lunga Lunga project, as well as the Adi River facilities, keep doTERRA and Fair Oil committed to economic development and well-being of the communities they're working with in Kenya. In order to fulfill this commitment, doTERRA rigorously assesses the impacts of the initiatives on the community. Specifically, doTERRA has funded a 4-year monitoring and evaluation study with a team of professionals and support from the University of Oxford to measure the impact of these 2 initiatives as well as the other ones against the wider community. So even though the Lunga Lunga is on 300 acres in the middle of nowhere, and the Ati River and is close to Nairobi, and nurseries that are forming to supply seedlings for these new farms and expansions, they are watching how hundreds of communities around Kenya are impacted by placing these facilities in different regions of Kenya. These programs and services are meant to provide an expansion and a huge role in changing the lives of Kenyans and Africans all throughout the country. These seedlings that are produced are geranium. And what they do is they promote these crops and provide it to landowners for the ability to then to start farming again, and communities that haven't done farming in a while. So let me tell you a little bit about geranium. There's the geranium. As you turn the oil, you find out that it is a supplement. So that means safe for internal use. So as you see here, the geranium itself, what part of the plant is the whole entire plant. If it's flowering or not, the leaves, the stems, the roots, the whole entire geranium plant is what's used in doTERRA essential oils. It is steam distilled, and it has this herbish, green, florally sweet smell. I think it's really, 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 really strong. I'm not a fan, but it is amazing. They have this amazing coconut salt scrub listed here on the bottom because it's so good for the skin. But let me read to you a little bit about what doTERRA says about geranium. Geranium is grown for its beauty and its staple in the perfume industry. While there are over 200 different varieties of geranium flowers, only a few of them are used in the essential oil industry. Uses of geranium essential oils date back to ancient Egypt, when Egyptians used geranium oils to beautify skin for other benefits. In the Victorian era, fresh geranium leaves were placed on formal dining tables as decorative pieces and can be consumed as a fresh spring if desired. In fact, the edible leaves and flowers of the plant are often used in desserts, cakes, jellies, and teas. As an essential oil, geranium has been used to promote the appearance of clear skin, healthy hair, making it ideal for skin and hair care products. The aroma helps calm nerves and lessens feelings of stress. Geranium is also known as a natural insect repellent. So let's see, its key benefits here is you can use as an aromatic steam for a floral beautification, placing a drop in a hot cup of water and letting the steam penetrate and open the pores. I think that is a really cool way to provide nourishment to the skin without touching. When I first did that, I didn't like the smell, but I loved the way my skin felt after. You can apply it under your arms after a sweaty workout. It's great as a deodorant. I use the salt as my deodorant, but the salt works best if you wet the skin. So we have a pump spray. And that pump spray, you just spray it on distilled water and then put the salt on. I add my oils right to that. I like Immortelle, and now geranium would be another use. So you combine it with fractionated coconut oil for a sensual massage. You can add a few drops to your shampoo and conditioner to provide a healthy glow for your hair. So it actually provides shine and vibrance to your hair by adding it right to your shampoo and conditioner. It's not an extra step you have to do. It makes it really good. And like I said, it is amazing and easy to use. So you'll have to give geranium a try and place that on your next order. Let me move on here. I'm running out of a little bit of time. So co-impact sourcing in Kenya. Let me tell you about the Mount Kenya project. So the Mount Kenya project is located where? At the base of Kenya, Mount Kenya, and in and around the city of Nanyaki. Situated at over 6,000 feet above sea level, this area of Kenya has warm, sunny days and crisp, cool nights. The foothills of Mount Kenya provide the ideal climate for many essential oil crops like rosemary that you see in the bottom right, as well as thyme, eucalyptus radiata, oregano. So the Fair Oil team has been working with small farm holders in this area producing these essential oil crops in the region of Kenya for decades. But while working in this region, doTERRA noted the deforestation that was happening in the region and wanted to work together with the community to help provide and play a sustainable role in the forest again. That is amazing that they seen an environmental need while they were there, and they decided to work together and provide a way to help the forest be sustainable again. In that result, they found out that there was large quantities of cypress being forest. So doTERRA jumped in, and even though we get most of our cypress from Morocco, doTERRA decided to jump in and see what they could do about cypress in the area. So I'm gonna play this story and let you learn about Cypress Initiative.
As we came into Nanyuki, what I noticed was the deforestation that was running rampant all around that area. Cypress trees, they provide great shade, they provide water, but also they provide an income. They will harvest them in about 20 years.
Most tree crops are being planted for timber. It's a very long-term investment. So it's difficult for many farmers to think that long-term. You're not going to get paid for a long time. But in this case, 3 years, you're going to start getting cash and a big lump sum payment at the end when you sell the log. So it'll encourage more farmers to plant more trees, which can desperately need. Mr. Gregory used to be the chief of this whole area.
Then after that, I retired. And now I'm getting up, I'm going on with the farming. Now I'm back at home. Now back home.
Historically, the cypress trees have been pruned so that they grow straight. So you need to harvest the branches on the lower limbs. Previous, those branches that were harvested were simply put into biomass. There was no use for them. So now as we take those small leaves and branches and we distill them to create this beautiful essential oil, we create an income for these people in Kenya, an additional income to everything else they're already doing.
Farming is more better than being employed. I'm not being told, go there, I'm free because I'm doing my work. Yeah, so I remain with my wife here. Instead of finding work, I better stay here.
Farming allows you to stay at home, be with your community, be with your children.
Correct.
And in many ways, especially with a good product like this, it's a better income and a better quality of life than working in the city.
Yeah, that's very good. That is very good. You have added value to us, to farmers.
It's a win-win.
We are now valuable. Because the leaves are going to be money. These are firewood. This is that is money. This is money. And even your tea is money.
And we get a very beautiful essential oil from it.
Yeah, correct.
So we all benefit.
Alrighty, so let me tell you a little bit about cypress. Now, cypress is an amazing oil, and as you spin that around, you see that there's aromatic, topical, and internal use. It tastes horrible, just saying. It is sourced from the leaf of the plant and is steam distilled. It has a clean, fresh, woody, herbaceous smell. Cypress essential oil is derived from the tall evergreen trees. It has a energizing and refreshing smell. Cypress is frequently used in spas and by massage therapists. It contains monoterpenes, making it beneficial for oily skin conditions. One of the main chemical compounds and monoterpenes in cypress is alpine, which helps reduce the appearance of blemishes. Monoterpenes in cypress are beneficial for oily skin and overall skin health. It is also used as a grounding yet stimulating effect on the emotions, making it a popular oil to diffuse at times of transition and loss. It is an amazing oil for motion and movement. Before a long run, cypress can be applied to feet and legs to energizing, a couple drops on the chest for vitality and energy, and amazing to be added to your skin care regimen if you have oily skin. So please feel free to go ahead and look at the blog for some soothing salves and some more information on cypress. So doTERRA's co-impact sourcing in Kenya will create about 5,000 rural farming jobs additional this year. The formation of thriving cooperatives and family groups from various communities across Kenya is one of the primary goals of doTERRA initiatives in Kenya. The Lunga Lunga distillation facility is ideally positioned along the African spice corridor. In addition to plants grown within the project scope, the distillation facility will also distill raw materials from Madagascar, Tanzania, and Zanzibar. That 300-acre Lunga Lunga model farm will serve as a teaching, training, and capacity building operation. Farmers gather regularly here to attend training sessions. They are increased incomes, improving lives, and achieving superior quality, which secures the essential oil supply for doTERRA to the members all throughout the world. As doTERRA's demands for essential oils continue to grow, so does our global supply chain. Strategic planning for growth while intentionally bringing opportunities to these low-income communities is key to the co-impact sourcing strategies. And finally, an establishment of community development fund provides every kilogram of oil produced by the farming cooperatives. A portion of the revenue is set aside to fund and oversees cooperatives themselves to financially finance larger developmental projects at the discretion of the community. doTERRA doesn't decide that, the community decides what these needs. These funds are in addition to the generous donation made by the Healing Hands Foundation. So these funds, along with the Healing Hands Initiative, have created social impact and community building to Kenyan farm communities throughout the Kenya region. In just the past 2 years, since they initially began working in this area, we've only been working in this area for the past 2 years, the following projects have been funded through the Healing Hands Foundation. Construction involvement in primary schools. At the Kenwagan Primary School, they provided additional classrooms as well as restroom facilities. It is amazing that these facilities didn't have private, safe, clean restrooms for these children to go to. So not only at that school, but at the Mazwamba Primary School, they provided restrooms, school library, water storage, a staff room, teachers' living quarters, student verandas, as well as they provided scholarship support for families that couldn't afford to send their kids to school. At the Monjem Waibed Kindergarten, they provided a whole facility. So they also provided the Manwina River Bridge to enable the community and the schools to cross the river safely, because when the tides got high and when the flood seasons came, they weren't able to attend. So they provided a bridge. They constructed a community center. At the community center, they teach farmers training and they have community events to bring people together. The TICAH is an indigenous culture facility that provides health training to about 2,000 school children. The Columbus Conservation is an education and reforestation project for indigenous trees, not only the cypress, but many others. And then the Muamos Water Point is the community borehole and water tower supplying water, fresh water, to these communities. And then a water maintenance trust fund, which is ongoing research and maintenance of the communities of the different water sources in the community. I want to wrap this up and say thank you for helping me. I know this was a very long presentation today. We don't source this many projects in one location, but Kenya happens to be a large location with a vast majority of great plants and species to provide medicinal benefits to people all over the world. So it took time, and I've only addressed 4. There is so much more oregano, thyme coming out of the Kenya, and so much more to come in the future. So I wanted to share this, that each year doTERRA, I wanted to conclude with this, that each year doTERRA provides leaders ranked silver and above with the opportunity to visit these sourcing sites and learn from our harvesters and perform service projects in these communities. In order to be considered to enter a trip lottery, what you do is you go on the Healing Hands Foundation, not through your checkout, but a separate donation in the Healing Hands Foundation under incentive trips, and make a $10 or more donation to the Healing Hands Foundation. For you, you can also make as many donations as you like to increase your chances of being pulled for this lottery. So all lotteries have a close date in which a random drawing will take place to select winners. If you are chosen as one of the winners, you will receive a notification which will be sent to you by the email that you submitted for your donation. doTERRA may need to make multiple rounds of names to fill for this trip. So when the trip is filled, you will receive a second notification for confirmation that you will be attending this Kenya trip. The next Kenya trip is scheduled for July 13th through 18th of 2020, but the lottery closes January 31st. So if you're interested in taking a Kenya trip, the lottery closes the beginning of the year, so make your $10 donation now, and then they will pick the winners. Please note that certain co-impact trips are incentive trips where you earn the chance by promoting and building a team. You can earn a trip, or those incentive trips also have buy-ins that you can participate in. Other trips are lottery and are reserved for silver and above members. All incentive trips are market specific. This one that is in July 13th through 18th, 2020 is for US and Canada residents only. If you're interested in finding out incentive trips in your region, just reach out to the person that enrolled you and they will look that up, or go to your office, your doTERRA Europe page, doTERRA Australian page, and look for the incentive trips in your area. Thank you so much for being a part of this first co-impact sourcing initiative. I implore you that there is so much more to doTERRA than just a bottle of oil. So make sure that you learn the impact that doTERRA has in lives all over the world, and watch for these every single month. They won't be this long. This was the longest. That's why I chose to do it first. And make sure that you realize that doTERRA is impacting lives all over the world, one drop at a time. Thank you so much for being a part of this, and we hope to see you next month on one of the co-impact sourcing stories. Ahui ha.